Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I'm going to be talking about the two Weapon X characters that we have already in the game that you can use. That, of course, is Wolverine and Sabretooth, and I've been getting a lot of questions about these characters. You know, are these characters worth investing in if you're not going to get a Mega Red? What should the ISO be? How high should you take them? All that sort of stuff. And I've just got to say that I'm not going to tell you anything definitive today. In other words, I purposely like to be careful and not give hard recommendations until I've had a chance to test the entire team. But people are used to, with new characters, seeing my first impressions, getting my commentary on the T4s, seeing me gear up the character. So I'm going to do that today. I obviously have kept these characters pretty low for good reason. They weren't that important until recently. And I'll bring them up to gear tier 15. We'll go through the T4s together, and you can see sort of what I think about them. And I'll just start here with Sabretooth. That's a lot of gold to spend to bring this guy up, but let's just do that. One nice thing is he is pretty cheap to gear in terms of the gear requirements. So you could see here, we got, here he is at gear 12. Gear 13. And his unique is this cloth or whatever. He is definitely one of the cheaper characters to gear, even in teal. Here he is at gear tier 14. And then here he is at gear tier 15. All right. Now, so I will keep him here. And you could see I'm already able to basically get him to the next teal level. The issue, of course, is that molecular cloth. People have asked me what I think the ISO should be. Now, I got to tell you, I think that depends where you're using him. If you're still using him right now on the Marauders team, Skirmisher is the way to go. Because really, he's a guy who is, especially if you have the T4 here, he is going to be assisting on all of the Marauders attacks, so you can have that Striker Skirmisher combo where you get the extra attack, that triple tap. Once you move him to the Weapon X team, my guess is Raider is going to be helpful on that team, but I really can't be sure yet. But let's go through. Let me just get up his ISO now. And you guys can sort of see what Sabretooth looks like big. Some of you may have a big Sabretooth. I know some people originally brought him into DD4. He was somebody I originally considered when I was racing in DD4. I ended up deciding not to bring him because I felt like the only reason I was considering him is because he was cheap. And I rather have a character I thought I had more confidence in. And now it turns out because of the rework, he might be a better choice. All right, let's go through his T4s here. Now, one advantage, to me, this is the sort of T4 I don't really like doing, just damage. We'll see whether or not on the team, this matters enough, maybe with an ISO attack. I will say right now, I don't see the value there. And if you look at his ISO attack, for example, in MSF.gg, it's just not worth it. So, for example, here you can see all his assist is, his ISO attack is just this extra damage. So it's really, to me, a very low value kind of T4. I don't do that. By the way, while I love the fact that MSF.gg has this T4 confidence stuff, I know people look it up in the bot. I would not just make your T4 decisions based on what everyone else is doing. It's not a good way to go. Here for the special, this seems to me 80% piercing to all targets if Omega Red is an ally is a no-brainer then. So this is going to attack primary and adjacent. And to me, now actually it's only an extra 20% piercing. That's interesting. So you're getting for your T4, you're getting 70% damage. Let's just assume there's two other targets, which is not always the right, but let's just say the ideal circumstance, you're getting 150% damage plus you're getting 60% piercing. This seems to me like a nice to have is my guess, not something that's essential. I'll just do it because as you can see, I have a lot of T4, so I'll just do it. what do we got here? All right, so this is, this is something you're doing a lot of rebound. You're getting a rebound chain. This is giving you the rebound chain to extra targets, which is nice, and it applies bleed. So to me, I always like to have the T4 done on any ability that applies bleed because you get a higher damage multiplier. So to me, that's one that I'm going to want to do. Probably a low end of an essential. And then since I don't care about his use on Marauders, I'm going to wait on this for now. Maybe it's valuable just to get that additional assist chance, but for right now, I'm not sold. All right, let's bring up Wolverine now. We can go through his. Oh, I guess I need more of these training orbs. Gotta love the bottlenecks in this game. The only reason that I am able to, do this here is just I buy up such additional energy that you end up getting all these additional training mats. So let's go here. I still need more. Unbelievable, huh? Such a ridiculous bottleneck in this game. I mean, they need to get to a certain point where they just remove these bottlenecks. All right, here we go. Here's Wolverine. I literally had him at tier 10. Now here he is at tier 11. Tier 12. Tier 13. Tier 14. And tier 15. Now, I will just tell you, I expect that this character is going to remain a raider. He has actually some good stuff in his kit that revolves around crits. We'll look at that first. Let's start here with the basic. Applying additional bleed, plus the fact that the T4 is going to up the damage chance. There's a no-brainer. You're going to T4 that, to me. But we'll see. We'll see. It's not this is another bleed attack, additional rebound chain. You're going to get more piercing. This is another one I'm going to want a T4. They've really put a lot of visibility. This is another bleed. Yeah, you're in a T4. That's one that I'm going to want a T4. Wow. And then this is really powerful as well. They've really made this a T4 intensive character. Okay. All right, I've T4'd all. Now, I don't know if you need to do that, but my initial attack is my initial sense is that's something that I want to do. I'm going to look here and see. Yeah, so you get additional crit chance, and there you go. That's the reason why you want to have him as a raider, because what raider does is that it not only gives you crit chance, but it gives you crit damage. So if we look at raider, you see all this additional crit damage. If he's critting a lot, you're going to want a character that is going to take advantage of that. So we will do that now. Now, let's talk about the question of whether it's worth investing in this character. If you don't have Omega Red, it doesn't mean that the 4 characters without him are not valuable. But I can't tell you how the team's going to perform without Omega Red, like as a 4-piece. I just don't know. That's something that's too hard for me to judge without playing the team. I understand you'll have no problem searching on YouTube and finding content creators that are happy to speculate for you. That's just not my jam. I don't speculate about stuff, characters that I've never played before. How do I know how these 2 characters here or how Lady Deathstrike and Silver Samurai interact with these 2? But I will say my view is just based on the stat increases alone, I think Sabretooth elevates the Marauders team now. I think you want to have Sabretooth on your Marauders team. And then Wolverine, if you remove, the Marauders unfortunately are not very good without Emma Frost because they have no cleanse, and you can just use debuffs to control them. You can throw in another cleanser like Squirrel Girl, but it's just not the same. You can put Wolverine in, Wolverine is the 5th on the team, and the value there is you get this speed bar on Sabretooth if Wolverine is present. They're not that great. I mean, I think Sabretooth is great. If you're going to use Emma Frost, now that we have more defense slots, I think he makes Marauders better. He's worth upgrading for that. Wolverine, I think, is now better than Storm on the X-Men, whereas before Storm and Wolverine were both pretty worthless, but Storm at least gave you some speed up on more useful characters, things like that. So I think Wolverine now, it brings out enough damage. He's kind of another factor there. He's worth having. But I don't think either of these characters, if you aren't going to bring up, let's just say you're like, I don't think I'm going to have resources to bring up Lady Deathstrike and Silver Samurai. On their own, they're not important characters. I mean, these are this is basically a war team. Really, it's something you should focus on if you're only focused in war. I don't think either character is going to have raid viability. So to me, these are characters you invest in, if you have the resources to do so. For me, to be very blunt, if I wasn't doing this for the videos and all that, I wouldn't be that excited about these characters anyway. And, to me, it's a war. The excitement is once we have the full team, not now. I wouldn't be doing these characters right now if it wasn't for video. But I would do them once I got Omega Red, just because I want to have the team for war. And that's because I care about war. And I think, war to me is a lot of fun. Some of you like it, some of you don't. I think that to the extent you care about war, this is going to be an important team. On their own, I don't know how much I'd invest in these two characters, and that's kind of where I come out. All right, guys, if you like this video, smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel. If you have comments or questions, you can leave them below or just go to my Discord. We have lots of great conversations there. That's linked below as well. You can also check out my Twitch stream. That is linked below too.